Okay, hello fellow Earpers and Twitter deputies, my name is Ghostbot, and I am here to talk a little bit about the Purgatory Case Files. So what this video is not going to be is it's not going to be a comprehensive overview of any part of the interactive mystery. There are plenty of people that are already doing an amazing job of doing that. Purgatory Feminist is writing a fantastic blog that recaps and digs into the analysis of all of the evidence that's been revealed by the website and by the different research that other people have done. Also, shout out to the Wormhole Whisperers and all of the Twitter deputies out there. Y'all are doing fantastic work. Really keep on doing what you're doing. This community and this whole campaign have been amazingly fun. I've been having so much fun thinking about all these things, and so I want to kind of share some of my thoughts here. And the best way for me to do that sometimes is to just talk it out. Here is just kind of my waterfall barrage of thoughts. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about it, what y'all think about any of this stuff. Please feel free to put your comments and your thoughts and your speculations below. I would love to engage with them. So, what I'm seeing here, what we have, right, are these three men, potentially four if you include Wyatt, throughout history. We now also possibly have the addition of this Jeffrey, but we don't know the identity of that guy, so I'm not really going to talk about him. But what we have are these three men. What they have in common is that all three men lost the women that they loved early in their lives. Roosevelt lost his wife, ironically on the same day as his mother, Valentine's Day. They both died within hours of one another. Schrank also lost his girlfriend while he was in his late 20s. I believe the age was 28 when Emily dies in the General Slocum steamboat disaster. Josh Miller loses his girlfriend, his almost fiance, Annie, while they're on a picnic, and he's gonna propose to her, and then she gets stung by a wasp and she dies. So Schrank and Roosevelt are connected twofold. One, by Schrank's attempt to murder Roosevelt in 1912, but then also Roosevelt bringing Schrank in as a prisoner of Black Badge in 1914 after he had been deemed criminally insane for his assassination attempt. The reason that Schrank is brought into BBD despite being diagnosed as clinically insane is, at first, he said that the ghost of William McKinley had told him to murder Roosevelt because Roosevelt had murdered McKinley. But then Schrank changes his story and says that it was a demon that convinced him to do it in return for bringing back his loved ones that he had lost. So there's a lot of speculation around whether Schrank was attempting to resurrect his loved ones, whether he believed in some kind of reincarnation and thought that it would bring them back to life in the bodies of somebody else. But the fact was that Schrank blamed a demon, or blamed himself working under a demon, that the death of Roosevelt would be in exchange for the lives of his loved ones that he had lost. So that's the connection between Roosevelt and Schrank. Now, Miller, Josh Miller, is the grandson of Lydia Laurent, who worked at the St. Jude's Mental Hospital in Purgatory, where Schrank was supposedly kept as a patient. We know for a fact that Laurent and Schrank had been having an affair. We do not know for sure whether that affair was explicitly sexual, and we do not know for sure if that affair resulted in a child. When Laurent died, she gave her lawyer the instructions to bring a package to a grandson. Now, she had never met this grandson before. She eventually finds Josh Miller and gives him the package from Laurent. Now, Johnson doesn't say what is in the package, and we still don't know exactly what was in the package that was delivered from Laurent to Miller via Johnson, the lawyer. We know that Miller had a blog called MyBeautifulAnnie.com. Leads us to a Tumblr blog. He is writing in after, both before and after Annie, his girlfriend, almost fiance, dies. The last message on that blog is Josh talking about the package that he got from his grandmother, that there's something inside of that that makes him feel hopeful for the first time since he lost Annie. That this package, whatever's inside of it, is going to help reunite him and his lost Annie. So the speculation then, of course, is that whatever is in the package is something that is going to assist in the resurrection of the dead Annie. So that's where we're at right now. Josh Miller is still at large. He's a person of interest in the break-in not only at St. Jude's Psychiatric Hospital, but also the break-in at the Stanton's home, which is the former home of his grandmother Lydia Laurent. But we don't know where he is. We haven't heard any updates about whether we found him or whether he's in purgatory or out of purgatory, but we know that he's out there. We know that he has certain items from the hospital. We do not know for certain what the purpose of those items is yet. What we do have is this connection between these three men. So allow me to lay out for you what I have been calling my shot in the dark theory about everything that's going on here. Now, my disclaimer about this theory is that I don't actually think that this is really what is going on. I think the likelihood of this being the true backstory of Black Badge is a little far-fetched. I know that Wynonna Earp is a campy kind of show. I know it's a little bit far-fetched. It's science fiction and a little bit of fantasy, so of course it's going to be a little over the top. I think that this theory is even a little too over the top for the show, but I'm going to throw it out there because on the off chance that it's true, I think it'd be super cool. We do have substantial evidence to suggest that both Schrenk and Miller have hope that they will, or had hope that they would be, reunited with their loved ones, whether it was in life, or in death, or in reincarnation, we can't be sure, but that hope was strong for them. We don't have that for Roosevelt, but hear me out. What if, whatever this demon is, the demon that Schrenk mentioned as the motivation for him to kill Roosevelt, what if Roosevelt was the one responsible for bringing that demon to Earth in the first place? What if Teddy Roosevelt, desperate to bring his mother and the mother of his child back, actually engaged in some of the dark arts? Maybe he did it on purpose, maybe he did it by accident, maybe the demon is attuned to the grief of humans and can find somebody who is grieving and strong enough to sustain the demon's energy, which, if anybody is strong enough to do that, it would be Teddy Roosevelt, right? Came to TR and said, I will do this for you. In exchange, you gotta do a little something for me. What if TR got either freaked out or was like, I want to make a deal with you or whatever? He thinks that he's gotten rid of the demon. He thinks that the demon is gone, he's vanquished it, or he's scared it away. He doesn't know. He runs off to North Dakota. Because that's what he does. After his mother and his wife die, he leaves his child, his newborn child, in someone else's care, and he goes off to be a rancher in North Dakota. Not only to escape his grief, but also maybe to, like, throw this demon off the scent of his own child. So he's like, oh, like, that demon was pretty freaky, and I don't want him going to my kid, so I'm gonna go over here so that maybe the demon chases me and stays away from my kid. That's me being really, I don't know, optimistic about it. Then, you know, years pass, he's kind of gotten over it. He is now the president of the United States. This guy shows up and shoots him. Well, that's just great, right? But then the guy is talking about why he shot the president. And beneath all of the political talk, he's talking about a demon. He's talking about needing to kill the president in exchange for bringing back his loved ones. Now imagine you're TR in that moment. What do you do? That's my theory. Roosevelt created BBD because he knew that there were supernatural forces in the world, but it wasn't until one from his past came back to haunt him that he created an agency to fight the supernatural. I mean, the timing of it is just fantastic. The assassination attempt happens, Schrenk's talking about ghosts and demons, BBD is created, and then Schrenk is number 3 in the BBD files. Number 3. For an agency that has been around for hundreds of years, almost now, that guy's the 3rd guy they bring in. The connection between the two of them is inextricable. And I know that it is completely just simply likely that Schrenk just talking about demons, whether or not Roosevelt knew which demon he was talking about, was enough for Roosevelt to be like, we gotta do something about this. But how juicy would that be if the guy who creates the agency to fight the demons is the guy who brought the demon in the first place? Like, How awesome would that be? I think that would be a really juicy backstory. I don't know that it's true. I think it's actually kind of unlikely for it to be true, but that's my big theory right now. So that about wraps it up for me today. I think I might keep making these videos. I think it's kind of fun. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, I'm really sorry. Join us in the Discord chat to talk about and speculate about all of your theories and the evidence that we have. Again, another shout out to Purgatory Feminist for all the amazing recapping and analysis, Wormhole Whisperers, and all of the Twitter deputies for all of the hard work you're doing, and of course, the biggest shout out to the Wynonna Earp cast and crew, and especially whoever is running this interactive mystery. Kudos to you. The amount of work that I'm sure goes into doing this is incredible, but just know that you are giving me and so many other people something really, really, really fun and worthwhile to spend our time on. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. I will see you again for another update soon, I'm sure. Once again, my name is GhostBot. Have a lovely evening, Earpers. I'll talk to you again soon.